Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a video that's going to bring it back to the basics. I wanted to show you guys how to apply eyeshadow for beginners. I really want to walk you guys through as if I was doing a makeup lesson. I'm a makeup artist in the DC area and I do a lot of makeup lessons, and we always walk through the entire face, really focusing on the eyes. So if you're new to eyeshadow and it scares you a little bit, this is the right video for you. So if you're new to eyeshadow, it's really important to start with a primer. If you just go in and apply eyeshadow to bare skin on the eyelid, it's not gonna have anything to adhere to, and it's gonna be really hard for that eyeshadow to show up. So I suggest going with an eyeshadow primer, and this one I have here is translucent. If you're starting out, I would start with a clear eyeshadow primer, because if you use a colored one, it could get a little crazy, a little fast, or maybe the tone isn't right. So just go with the clear one. Or if it's not in your budget to buy one, you can always use a concealer or foundation that you already have to prep your eyelid. You want a sticky base for your eyeshadows, because when you apply a powder to your eyes, you want it to stick to the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this translucent one, but again, if you have your foundation or concealer, go ahead and use that instead. I'm applying it from the eyelid up onto the brow area, and just go ahead and press that in with your finger. I love the clear ones because you don't have to have it look perfect because it is clear. I'm using one by NARS. This is their Pro Prime Smudge Proof, but they're drugstore ones. There's ones of every single price point. So just look into what works for you and your wallet. So the two brushes I would recommend having for doing beginner eye makeup is having a flat eyeshadow brush like this one, anything that's similar to this shape and size. The next is a blender brush, and this one is the MAC 217, which is one of my all-time favorites. I've had this brush for 10 years. So these two brushes, you can create a whole eye makeup look, whether it's a natural daytime eye or a nighttime smoky eye. So for eyeshadows, I find that less is more when it comes to beginner eyeshadow. Yes, you can get one of these huge palettes that has 12 eyeshadows, but it'll just overwhelm you. I would suggest focusing on 3 to 4 eyeshadows max. You can get some really great ones at the drugstore. You can build your own palette like I have here from MAC, whatever you feel most comfortable with, but I feel like less is more. So I have a palette of 4 neutrals that are my go-tos for every single day. If I had to pick 4 eyeshadows, I would gravitate towards something like this. So in this palette, I have 4 shadows that I want to walk through. This one is my highlight shade, which I use on the inner corner and the brow bone. It is the lightest, most shimmery color. The second one here is more of a medium tone that pulls a little bit more pink, kind of a little bit taupey, that is perfect for the lid area, and it's more of my medium tone shade. This is a matte color that I consider as my transition shade that is 2 to 3 shades deeper than my complexion, which works beautifully in the crease. This is my darkest shade, which I use to smoke out my looks or as liner. So my eyes are prepped with the eyeshadow primer. Now what you want to do is go in with your flat shader brush and dip it into your lid color. So that's this medium shimmer shade here, and I'm just loading up my brush with this and really just packed it on nicely. If you want, you can tap off a little excess, but this, I like to have the most pigment to my eyes, so when you pick it up, you really want to press into the product. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and apply it to the eyelid, and I'm just going to press and swipe down. And the color payoff is really nice if you press into the lid area. Anytime you press, it's gonna have that eyeshadow show up a lot more. Picking up a little more product, doing the same thing to the other eye. If you want, you can use a medium tone shade that's a matte if you prefer that instead. I just like shimmer on my eyes, but that is totally a personal taste and whatever you prefer. So I just press that across my lid from the inner part of the eyelid to the outer part of the eyelid, just like that. And there you have just one eyeshadow, which is really nice and brightening. You could just stop here and do that as your day look. I also want to suggest another tip. If you want it to be even more vibrant, what you can do is take a little bit of your eyeshadow brush, dip it into your eyeshadow, and then spritz it with a little bit of water in a bottle. You can use MAC Fix Plus, something that a little bit of a makeup spray. It's gonna make it even more vibrant. That's just another really great trick to do. Also, you can use your ring finger, which I do a lot with my lid color. I'll just press it in and then go with my finger, and the heat of your finger actually really melts in that product nicely and is another great way to save yourself from cleaning a brush. So now I'm going to brighten up the eyes even more by highlighting my eyes using the highlight shade here, which is the lightest shimmery shade in the palette. I'm gonna take it on the tip of the same brush. So turn your brush this way, dip it right in. I'm gonna tap off the brush a little bit, and I'm gonna focus this on the inner corner of my eyes. Pick up a little bit more. Go right underneath the brows. And this is going to highlight your brow bone and then also the inner corner area, really brightening up the eyes. Same step again on the other side. You can see the way I'm holding my brush. I'm going inward and patting, so it's really showing up nicely in that inner corner. So we've completed the lid space here with that medium shimmer shade. Then with the lightest shade, we did the brow bone and then also the inner corner to brighten up the eyes. Now again, you could stop here, make this your day look, go in with your mascara, call it a day, but I'm gonna keep going just so you guys know all the steps and you can be comfortable on where you stop. Back into our palette, I'm gonna go ahead and take the transition shade here, which is 2 to 3 shades deeper than my complexion, which is always kind of a good reference point on what you should use for your transition shade. So I'm taking it on the crease brush, which we haven't used yet. So it's just this really nice tapered blending brush. And what I do is I tilt my head back and I put this into my crease, which is the area right above where we put the first color, and it's right below where we put the second color. So it's kind of right in between the highlight shade on my brow and then also the shimmer shade on my lid. We're kind of just putting it right in between that area, and it just softens everything up and creates a lot of dimension in the eye. You can see between the difference here. And if you have more of a hooded eye, what I would recommend doing is actually taking the eyeshadow even higher than you think. Create your own crease if you want. Try that. I always go higher on clients who have a more hooded eye, or I will bring it out further out here. Just play around with where you put this color. You can really change up the look of your eyes by doing so. Again, picking some up on this blender brush, going right above the shimmer shade. I almost create like a rainbow and pull it in. Just do little circular motions. You don't need a lot of product on your brush to really create a beautiful effect here. So this makes a really beautiful daytime eye. I walked you guys through 3 eyeshadows now that creates this look. It's very wearable, easy, and pretty for every day. But for the sake of this tutorial, I want to pull in one more color here just to show you guys what you can do with a darker shadow in the palette. So I have this really beautiful deep dark brown. I'm going to go in with the same tapered blending brush. Dip my brush just a tiny bit in there. I'm gonna tap off any excess. Since this is a darker shade, you wanna tap off anything so you don't get your eyeshadow fallout, which is when it falls down on your cheeks, it makes a whole big mess. So what you wanna do is take this color and focus it right on the outer portion of your eye, almost rubbing against the lashes there, going over the part where there's a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of your brown crease color. And I even have a little bit of that brown crease color on my brush, so it's gonna blend together really nicely with this dark brown. But what this does, it's gonna start adding a little bit of depth to the outer corner of your eye. Go a little bit over the lashes. I'm just concentrating it on this one area. And these types of brushes make it really easy to buff it out so you don't have any harsh lines. You wanna keep it really soft. You kind of see there just becomes a little bit more depth. Gonna add some to this side, go in circular motions, and almost think of it as like a sideways greater than sign or less than sign. Almost like a V out here. Go back over here and just make it a little bit darker. Make it as dark or as not dark as you want. You can even skip this step entirely. And I really like that stopping point. You can go and create a deeper look if you want to and kind of really just build it up slowly. You only need a little bit of product. Like this type of palette will last you forever. If you have 4 eyeshadows, eyeshadows last such a long time, you don't need a ton to create a desired look that you want. This is definitely more of a daytime appropriate makeup look that I do on so many clients and that they love and they feel like they can do themselves, which is what I want for you guys at home. When you're doing your makeup in the mirror, you feel like you're empowered and can do this easily. I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara and I'll be right back. Here's what it looks like with mascara. A really easy way to have everyday eyeshadow done in a quick amount of time, not using a ton of products. I also wanted to add on here that a really quick way to clean your 2 brushes, if these are what you keep around, it is good to keep these clean so your eyeshadow is looking its best. And a really fast, cheap way to do that is by getting a daily brush cleanser. This one's from Sephora and it's 10 bucks. All you do is spray it into a paper towel, and I'll just show you guys right here because it's that fast. Take your brush, go right into the area that you sprayed, and all that product just comes right out, and this dries so fast. You can use this the next day. That's how quick it is. So you can keep your brushes clean, your eyeshadow looking really good and fresh. Just a little bonus tip for you guys. I will list the eyeshadows I use in the description box below. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and what you'd like to see next. And I, of course, look forward to seeing you all next time. Take care, guys. Bye.